It's almost showtime. Come on. Let's do this. Hey guys!
What's going on? Welcome to the 1UP Weekly Live. Yeah.
What is up, guys? How is it going? How's it going, Justin?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay?
How are you
All
doing?
Right. Cool. I'm doing well. I hope everyone else is doing well. So today we decided this week with the new news of all these cabinet pre-orders coming out, we thought it'd be a good idea to just go through them, kind of give you guys the lay of the land of what cabinets are available, what ones are not available yet but are coming, and then get our perspective on them, hear from you guys. What do you guys think? But also kind of just dive into each little minute detail of each one, because there's a couple like unknowns and uncertainties. So we're just going to dive right into it, we thought. And if you haven't done this already, please subscribe if you enjoy our show, and definitely hit the like button. It helps out a lot. All right, Justin, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, so interesting this time with the Arcade1Up pre-orders, a lot of them that we're starting to see are coming from Best Buy. We know Walmart has typically been the champion for most of the releases, but we're starting to see Best Buy really doubling down on this first cabinet. And if you go look at it, it's actually the Marvel versus Capcom Special Edition, which has confused some people, confused me as well, because they use that term Special Edition. Does that mean limited edition? Does it mean it comes with Sanwas? It doesn't look like that. And the very first picture on it doesn't show, the stool. So you're like, oh my gosh, it's $500. But we wanted to let you know that if you dig deep and you look at it, it's $500. Yes, the pre-orders now. The release is on October 1st, but it has a light-up marquee, the matching riser, including the stool. So you're kind of getting everything, online play. And this particular one has, is that right? It has 5 games.
Yeah, so this one has 5 games. Now we're gonna kind of cross-examine this one with X-Men versus Street Fighter, but I'll put that in like the parking lot for a minute. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of people in the chat saying it has Wi-Fi, and yes, it does have Wi-Fi. The only exception to that rule is there's a console game in there. There's an SNES game, which is Marvel Superheroes Gem of Wars. That one actually doesn't have Wi-Fi. So all the other games will be Wi-Fi play. Now, the only question I really wanted to float by John before we started, and I have no reason to believe this wouldn't work, but would someone with a game, because there's some cross games on both the X-Men versus Street Fighter and the Marvel vs. Capcom,
right,
could they play together? I'm pretty sure the answer to that's going to be yes, but I haven't got a definitive yes from him because he hasn't responded to me yet.
It's got to be right.
I would like to believe it would, yeah.
Most likely going to be the same company. I believe we understand it's not Code Mystics that did this one. They use different vendors for the different games, and it's really the specialties of the different companies. I would assume that they're using a single back-end service, to manage high scores and the initial... Yep. Connecting with your friends, and then it's peer-to-peer from there. So I assume that the collection of games that they're putting on the 2 different cabinets is not going to restrict it from you being able to play. So if I purchased Marvel and you got the X-Men version, we'd probably still be able to play. But that is a good question that we should get verification for.
Yeah, and the other thing real quick, Justin, on that, you mentioned it. Special edition before in the past, like you said, meant it usually came with
limited edition did.
Oh, yeah, sorry, limited. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Limited, so there may be the special is limited.
Special is another term.
Yeah, it's another term. So there is one thing, like Justin and I, when we were going through this, kind of offline, I'm like, man, they need to get some consistent formatting on some of this stuff. Like even the spec sheets, will look different from generation to generation. So if there's any feedback that we'd like to give Arcade1Up, it's standardized on a spec sheet so that when you're on the website, if you were comparing them, it'd be easy to compare. So yeah, anyways, by the way, before we go to the next slide, How to Bachelor gave us a super chat over here.
Yep.
And he said, glad to help support Justin and Ralph. Thank you so much. How to Bachelor's a good dude. He's someone that has been watching for a while, but he's more recent. He's been a lot more vocal lately. So definitely appreciate that, buddy.
And Throwback Tyler, he makes a really good point. I think he's right. The special probably means that it comes with a stool because, stools are very special, something that you need in your life every day. And so I can't wait for the Ultimate Edition, whatever that means. Very good. Yeah, and so the next one we wanted to talk about, we're going to come back to Marvel versus Capcom. I mean, there's so much we got to dissect with that.
We want to ask you guys what you think, too. We're just kind of going recapping them real quick.
That's right. So we threw this one together real quick. So the brick, a lot of people are excited about the Sega Cab. We do believe that in the United States, we're going to see that available at arcade1up.com. If you go to arcade1up.com, it is labeled as a direct to consumer that you can buy directly from them. It's just not available yet, but it looks like their Canadian partner to be able for distribution is the brick, and it's about $450 USD. So we'll probably see that soon on arcade1up.com for those that are really interested in this the Sega cabinet. But while we're here, Ralph, was there anything special about this cab? Remember at CES when we saw it, we were kind of like going crazy over this cabinet. I personally am not going to pick this one up because I started noticing that I don't actually like the 4-player format. That's just me. I gave away one of my cabinets, my Turtles cabinet, to a friend who has a young kid that it's just like perfect for. Yeah. But for me, it was like it was great like earlier last year, like when I had family coming over all the time. But now I kind of live in this new world where no one ever comes over to my house, so it's just my family playing it. I play with my family a lot. My family, not my family.
Or my family or my family.
I don't know.
Wait, my family or my no, not my family.
Okay, come on.
My family, like your family, not my family, or my family, the person that watches the show, my family.
I play My Family all the time, but that's on Switch. Okay. Anyway, so Sega cabinet, give me your thoughts on it, Ralph.
Yeah, so there was one, and I can't remember now. Remember when we were at CES, there was one image left off the kick plate. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a game that wasn't on the kick plate. I can't remember if it was Shinobi or if it was like only Golden Axe Death Adder and they had missed the other Golden Axe, whatever it was.
No, they only showed Golden Axe on the front marquee, Death Adder, but it actually does have Golden Axe in it as well.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I mean, I like the cabinet, but I'm kind of with you where I know it would be an additional SKU for them, but I almost wish they would, because most of these games had 2- and 4-player versions of the ROMs, and the 2-player versions, you could select all the characters. It was just usually on the arcade board, there was a configuration that said, am I a 2-player setup or a 4-player setup? And if it was, it would still give you access to all the characters. A game that you saw multiple configurations of would be like Turtles. There were 2-player Turtles setups, but you could actually play all 4 Turtles. I know it'd be another SKU, but I wish they would do that, because I think even when like some people with limited space, you kind of can't space the cabinets out the same way now with like some 4 and some 2 and everyone. I think there's a lot of people that watch our channel have OCD and they're like, oh, it kind of throws them off.
the one problem I have with this cabinet, so this was the very first Sega partnership that Arcade1Up did. And the fact that they're only selling it in the United States direct tells me they went to Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and said, hey, do you remember, you know how that's like? It's like, so there's a phone call. I'll be John D. Hey, Walmart, so I got a game for you I want you to pick up.
Yeah, John D, how you doing, guy? What you got for me, kid?
Yeah, so it's a game called Golden Axe. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I never heard of that one. Is this like, what is this all about?
No, don't you remember, like, you were younger, right? And you'd go into Walmart, in fact, and right in the front, you would see like a 4-player
kid,
Golden Axe.
Look, I'm not a young buck. I played games like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galagala, things like that. So I don't know no Golden Axe.
Well, Golden Axe is a top shelf game. Like you gotta sell it at Walmart.
Kid, do you know how expensive my floor space is here at Walmart? Do you have any idea? Do you have any?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, well then maybe come back to me when you got another one. Sell this one to the brick or something like that over in Canada, because I don't want it.
Yeah. All right.
What else you got though?
It makes the point, right? So unfortunately, Sega because it's direct to consumer, it might end up being limited. And then hopefully Sega understands that, hey, this first run may not sell the 10, 20, 30, I don't know the numbers, tens of thousands that they're hoping for. But I hope that doesn't prevent them from making more deals with Sega. It probably won't. I mean, Sega probably knows, right?
This is a super geek factor one, because Golden Axe, Death Adder, this is like a game that wasn't released ever. It was released in the arcade. Yeah. There were no ports or anything. So there's a lot of like, I almost view this one as like, The reason why it's probably going to be sold on the website is it's kind of a little bit, you're a Sega fan, it's kind of like catering to the Sega fan. But I don't know. I have no idea if it was their intention to always sell it direct, or if they didn't realize that maybe these resellers or these vendors didn't want it. Who knows?
Yeah, I wonder if they have a roadmap with Sega. I'm sure they probably have like 5 cabs already planned out, and they were like, let's start with the Golden Axe because that's just part of their roadmap. So next, let's talk about Miss Pac-Man. I think, Ralph, you have a lot to say about this Miss Pac-Man.
So Justin and I were going through the show beforehand, and I kept on adding. I'm like, nah, let's add another slide. Because the cocktail cabinet is a cool concept. They've done it a couple times. They call them head-to-heads, not cocktail cabinets.
Right.
Traditionally, that's what they were called, as cocktail cabinets. But
right.
It's kind of a neat concept because there was a really cool Miss Pac-Man cocktail cabinet that a lot of you guys probably played in. Who knows? You could have played it in a laundromat. You could have played it in a pizza place, whatever it was. But the unique thing about this is it's got 8 games on it, right? It has Miss Pac-Man, but brings, I think, the games that people really are excited that are on this are, you're getting Galaga, which everyone loves. Like, there's no doubt that everyone loves Galaga. Galaxian, I personally could do without because the sounds in Galaxian drive me absolutely bonkers. Like, I think from a soundtrack perspective, Galaga's got to beat hands down.
I feel the same way about Dig Dug is awesome, but Dig Dug 2 is not so awesome.
Well,
but okay,
it's cool.
It's cool that it's in there. And then, of course, they got Super Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, and Pac-Lan. And, of course, Miss Pac-Man.
I got to admit, for me, I don't know. I'm like such a traditional Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man person that like those games don't, like, for me, those aren't games where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'd be getting this specifically for Miss Pac-Man. The fact that it's packaged with Galaga. Wait, the site says Galaga 88, really?
Yeah, that's some more kind of like, what's going on? Why does it say Galaga 88 in some places, It's this inconsistency, and we have questions. We're going to get to another one. There's pictures of Miss Pac-Man, the full-size cabinet, and the game list that's on the picture doesn't necessarily match the details that are on the website. So, but the other thing is, okay, $500 sounds a lot. I was thinking about this. I was like, whoa, $500 for a cocktail cabinet.
Can we 1 second pause on the... you realize that if Galaga 88's on it, how awesome that is. I don't think it is, but that's on the site?
Yeah.
But is that on the 1UP site and I missed that?
I can't remember where it's at. Does everyone? It's either on Best Buy's website in the games list description, or it's on Arcade1Up.
Yeah, because it's definitely not. Oh, it is. Or it says Galaga 88, and it says like trademark of Bandai Namco on their website, but it doesn't list it as a game. Well, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no problem. So here's the thing, Ralph. If you were to go pick up a different cocktail cabinet, like one that's on the market, an original one or a reproduction, you're going to be north of $500 anyway. So I have to say it's a realistic price. But now we're kind of have seen other prices like the Street Fighter head-to-head. You can pick that up for like $250 in some places. So we're already seeing discounts of their previous generation. And we wanted to talk about that. I think we got a couple slides about it.
I wanted to talk about the aesthetics on it.
Why don't you take that one?
Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but this is a good poll. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But aesthetically, this one was, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, Pac-Man cocktail. I was super excited. But then the more I looked at it, the more I was like, there's just something I don't like about it. And I think it was just, okay, so the sides of the regular official Miss Pac-Man cocktail actually had wood grain, right? But it didn't have any artwork on it. It was just wood, and then it had the iconic Bally Midway coin door, which I know they're not going to put a coin door on it. And there's actually some reason. There's some other things that Justin and I could talk about. But I loved that the control panel was small. See, if you look at it right there, it's like centered in the middle. Now, Justin made a good point. He's like, yeah, but they wanted to have other games on it, so they had to make it wider. But I still think
so let's see if we can... When you look at this picture, what he's talking about, if you look on the left, this is the original Miss Pac-Man cocktail cabinet. Now, this one only had the one game on it, right? Yeah. This is not like a 60-in-1 conversion or anything like that. No, so if you look really close, if you can see it, it does have 2 buttons on it, but they're tiny little buttons to like,
it's just
trigger one player, 2 player, and then a joystick, and that's it, because that's all you need for the game. But if you look on the right, we have the Arcade1Up Miss Pac-Man, and they extended the control deck the whole way. And he was like, oh, why couldn't have they made it more like the center? I mean, you could go further, like why didn't they put glass on it? Just to kind of play devil's advocate. But it actually, I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me because it's like this is how you get the price point to $500. You have to make those type of changes because the control panel is going to extend all the way from one side to the other because it's anchored into the side panels.
But there may be people that would go, hey, why didn't you? This comes up a lot, by the way. A lot of people are critical of the artwork, how they put the artwork on sometimes, or like that the riser doesn't match the sides. A lot of people talk about that. But here it's like, well, could they have put the wood grain on the bottom kick plates that are underneath where you're sitting? Like that kind of would have flowed a little bit better. So I get that they do that, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. And I'm not trying to say that I wish they did a direct reproduction, but it'd be really cool if they did. I just think, in the future, maybe they could start to do that because we're seeing them do it a little bit. Like they did it with Burger Time. They did it with Star Wars. So like, anyways, either way you look at it, it is cool, but I don't know. The more I look at it, I'm not as in love with it as I had like nostalgia goggles on when I first saw it. And I was like, oh, I gotta get it. But that's good. You guys need to. We're going to talk about this.
There is another reason why it might be interesting to pick up because if you look at the very first version that they came out with, a lot of people complained that it wasn't tall enough, right? And so they were buying these additional legs, right? That was like 5 inches tall, so it could extend that up to more of that 29, 30-inch range, right? So we're talking about the original cocktail cabinets. We'll call it V1, Wave 1 cocktail cabinets, like your Street Fighter head-to-head. What else they did? They did like a Pac-Man one, but this is not Miss Pac-Man. It was like a Pac-Man head-to-head. So people would put the attachment on it. But if you look at the comparison between the version 1 head-to-head and the version 2 head-to-head, you'll see that on the right here, the version 2 head-to-head is 29 inches, whereas before it was 25 inches. So
it's going to be a lot more comfortable for people to play, for sure. I mean, you ended up having to go like really spread your... Sounds stupid. You had to like spread your legs way far out. You had to kind of like straddle it. Where now you don't have to. You don't have to like wrap your legs around the thing.
Yeah, I think you made a good point before to give a visualization of like 29 inches is like the average bar stool, like or like a desk tabletop is around that 29 to 30 inches. So that's how tall it's going to stand. So it's it's about 4 inches more taller than the other one. I remember David saying he was like. He said those V1s, he's like, they're not 3/4 scales. They're pretty much the size of the originals. But I wonder if that extra 4 inches that pretty much kind of goes away. It's like the dimensions are getting a lot closer.
Yeah, for sure. Before we move forward here, How to Bachelor said, do the older versions ever go on? Yeah, How to Bachelor said, did the older versions ever go on sale? Well, they did. So like, I don't know, how many months ago was it when everyone was doing the $50? So they were basically like, getting the older versions out of their stores to make room for the newer revisions, and they were taking they were doing big discounts on them. I mean, people were getting cabinets for $50, and even some of the newer ones were actually in that boat. Now, it was kind of interesting because Justin, I don't know if you remember, but I mean, you do because your website is the one that did it. But in like the bigger cities, you didn't notice the discounts as much. It seemed like the Walmarts in like Middle America, you could get them a little bit better. In Arizona, they almost never did them, but every now and then they would. California wasn't seeing them as much. They could maybe get them spotty, but yeah. So How to Bachelor, it was kind of spotty, hit or miss. But on Justin's website, the Home Arcade Deals, you could go there and try to find those deals.
There's a good Facebook group as well that has a lot of arcade deals in it. And I can't remember. I know Sam's and Sam's had some deals on it at some point on those cocktail cabinets. They come down in price, but I don't think like Arcade1Up, I think they're really cool looking, and you picked one up, right? I think you eventually sold it, the black edition, the head-to-head.
Yeah, so I never even did a video on it. I had bought the black edition or the black series Street Fighter 2 head-to-head. I actually sold it, but it was actually pretty cool. There's a couple things I didn't love about it, but the height was one of them. Like it actually is a little. You almost have to, if you buy the version 1s, you have to put something on it to raise it up. Like it's just they're a little too low. So it's a good thing that they did that. I mean, they're definitely learning from the development mistakes. I think that's good. So
I think it's time we talk.
Estimate 4 inches, and Stringer Films says Lieutenant Dan would be pleased. So thank you for the super chat.
That's
Oh
funny.
my God.
So we got to talk about the Queen, right? So Miss Pac-Man. This is if you go to Best Buy's website, you'll see a page that's really upsetting and confusing because the title of the page itself says it's for the Miss Pac-Man, but the picture shows the cocktail cabinet, so it's really confusing. But it's different. It's priced differently to the cocktail cabinet. It says $449. It says the release date is August 10th, which is tomorrow when we air this. From when we air this podcast, and it says it comes with 4 games. So it's reasonable to say that we might see an update tomorrow for $449.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and then there's no link. I don't know. It was weird. This was one that everyone's been looking for, and I guess the link is
well, the links tomorrow? You can find it on various websites. There's a lot of different websites,
though, right? Like you can't.
No, it says coming
just the
soon.
Link is there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it just says coming soon. That's right. And the other confusing, if you look closely, so this is the picture that I pulled from Arcade1Up.com, and if you look at the games, we got Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian. I was trying to think, is there a funny way to pronounce Galaxian? Galaxian? I don't think so. But anyway,
not really.
Pac-Mania and Pac-Man Plus, right? But if you look at Best Buy's website, it says Miss Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and Galaxian. And Best Buy's website says, yes, you read it right. This includes Dig Dug, which is really confusing because I don't think it includes Dig Dug because the pictures are different. So I don't know.
I know. And these are those things where it's like they got, I don't know why this has always been a struggle. Like it really has. It's not, I'm not trying to like talk trash, but it's always been a struggle to like get the accurate information out. And I don't know why. Like they're a big enough company now. So if there's any feedback on that front, it's just like get the marketing stuff right out there so that everyone is clear. Because it's hard for us to then sit here on here and say, yes, this is the exact games that are going to be on it. And it gets even more confusing when you start looking at the X-Men versus Street Fighter version of the Marvel cabinet that we showed you earlier. Because I'm not really sure that one's clear yet. Well, we'll get to that, but
yeah. Now, we've seen this before. I remember seeing it on Walmart's website. Whenever you'd see Walmart's placeholder, and it's really weird. Sometimes you'll see a placeholder for, I swear I've seen it, because when I manage the site, whenever a new ID comes out, I'll add it for tracking and things like that. There's several times that a placeholder page comes out, and they never use it. It never gets searchable. Yeah. It gets crawled by Google, and then it's just dormant and dead, and someone goes in and creates a new one. But a lot of times you would find that those placeholders have like a really high price that's not accurate. So again, I don't know. And also Best Buy is notorious for selling the Arcade1Up cabinets for a higher price.
Yeah.
Than say Walmart. So we may see maybe Best Buy is like, hey, we're going to do $449, that's going to be our price, and then Walmart comes in and undercuts them for $399, and maybe Best Buy will match or drop it to $399. But officially the page is not fully vetted yet because the picture's all messed up, but the link is out there. When I say link, I mean if you go to the various websites that are running articles about the new lineup for Arcade1Up, it says Miss Pac-Man now available, click here, and it deep links you straight into Best Buy's page. That's all messed up, but hopefully that goes away soon.
Yeah, we had gotten 2 messages. One was from Mike from Rhode Island. And he said, how about those pinball machines? So I knew that this would come up probably a lot of times during the show. So I had messaged back and forth with John D last night. And I'm like, dude, you got to give me something on the pinball machines. He's like, it's coming. It's going to be like really soon within the next couple weeks. So I'm hoping that what we end up getting is here are the three models, right, that we all know: the Star Wars, the Attack from Mars, and the Marvel. And then what the game lineups are of each one of those. So I'm hoping that that's what we get. And then maybe the final specs on everything. So if we do, we may switch up the show for that week and actually make sure we cover the pinball machine so everyone understands what they're getting there. And then the other question was, there was something
I'm
else
sure we'll all be confused.
Yeah. There was one other one in here, and I totally missed it. It was a good one, too. Oh, so yeah, John on our show had said, and do you think it's a good time to talk about that, or do you want to run through all the cabinets first? Remember our conversation you and I had about how there's so many cabinets now and there's so many different SKUs. Do you want to talk about it for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I think, one of the things that's kind of interesting is I was talking to Justin and I was like, do you think that Arcade1Up really thought that people were going to like build whole entire rooms in their houses to have all these cabinets. And I
That's right.
don't think they thought that. I think that was a shock to them when they saw people like lining them up and being like, I want to collect them all. But now we're at a point where there's way more of them than people can afford. And I think what they're doing now with all these SKUs, like it could be somewhat annoying to the person that is the collector, that they're like, they have certain titles that have the same game on another machine that they build somewhere else. But I think they're at a point where they're trying to build machines that appeal to different, people that might want to pick one up. So I think you have to kind of take that approach to when you're looking at buying them. If you already have like 4 or 5 or more, you might want to go, all right, let me just kind of let time show me what's going to let the time go by to see what's being offered, and then sort of select and pick and choose. Because I think you will see a lot more of that. Different SKUs with different lineups that may have games that are repetitive from other ones. Because I don't really think that they're putting out cabinets to say every time there's a cabinet like that, you're going to include that in your library. I mean, maybe there are some that will do that, but I can't imagine like the room size you'd need to do something like that, even at 3/4 scale, is still pretty big. Justin and I were going back and forth. I'm like, I don't even know what the total count of machines they have now would be. If you count every SKU, wallcades, countercades,
I remember it was 30 at some point, but that was
way more than that now.
That was months ago.
Yeah. So
hey, Sean, thanks for subscribing, but I want to talk about that. It's really weird because we've said this a few times, but I'm going to say it again. It might hurt some people's feelings, but Arcade1Up does not market to us. All the people that are watching this show, we're not their core audience. It's not. When you go on Facebook and you read everyone who posts in those groups, they do care what you say, but you're a small minority to their larger audience. If you sit at Walmart when it was hot, I've been there when things were flying off the shelf. Like, they don't know Retro Ralph, they don't know me, they don't know any of the YouTubers that are covering arcades. They don't know about the Facebook groups. They don't know about modding.
Nor
they
will
don't care about modding.
Yeah, nor will they ever go to the groups or ever mod their cabinet. It's true.
A very simple illustration is you go to one of the official Arcade1Up fan groups, or the official one, has like 16,000 people in it. They've sold 1 million cabinets. And so the information that's shared there, although is really cool, and it's a tight-knit group of people, when they call them whales, right? So the whales are the people that have like 10 machines in the room. And although they do want to make sure that all those people are happy, there's a huge audience of people that probably are only going to buy 1 cabinet or 2. And they're picking that right one, And I think they're coming out with varieties that are trying to target that exact person. And it's unfair because sometimes...
Right? Yeah. There's the casual that just literally walks by, and he goes over to the section and he sees the At Games dongles. He sees, the My Arcade stuff. And then there's a row of these other arcades. And maybe he was even thinking, I'll pick up one of these. And he goes, what the heck is this? Like, this is a mini little arcade. Like, we all know about this, but there's literally, I bet that happens every day in Walmart that someone walks by and goes, what the hell is that thing? Like, that'd be really cool. I mean, case in point, and I'm going to admit that I watched this show with Kim. My guilty pleasure is 90 Day Fiancé. We watched that stupid show together. And in that scene, there's been multiple times where I've seen people on the show that have an Arcade1Up in their house. And it's like one just sitting there in the corner. It's got like clothes on it and stuff. But like, it's on that show. It's on all sorts of show. You got the whatever. The guy from SNL has one. Like, they're all over the place. It's crazy.
That's right. Yeah. So I think they're really trying to extend their reach, exploring different demographics, and that means different SKUs, different titles. Not necessarily, hey, we're going to put out a cabinet that's going to be the 11th. It's going to be your 11th cabinet. They're trying to come out with someone's first cabinet. And when they talk about it, we hear them say how like they barely scratched the surface. The extent they have, the number of households they want to be in is so much further than where they're at today. And so to get there, they have to keep coming out with different titles.
But the one thing that would be interesting, Justin, as part of this, and we didn't even talking about this, will they eventually, like, let's say you got these core, like I'd say all of us here probably bought multiples. You have a lot of them, or you're maybe getting into it new. But the ones that have had them for a while, and they're like, I'm running out of space. Like, will they build some kind of premium cabinet at some point for like those people that's like maybe a multi-cade kind of thing.
Right.
Like there's been zero talks about that because basically what they want to do is they want to build reproduction looking cabinets, to Zohar's comment in there, that have the artwork, that are kind of nostalgic to, you know, the feeling of those games as they existed. They're not going to be exact, but something like that. So I don't know if they'll ever go that route, because right now there's really no reason for them to, right? Because they're not having any issues selling individual cabinets. But we'll see. Maybe in the future they will. Stringer Films had a super chat with a good point. Thank you for that, by the way. He said, I hope they offer all new Wi-Fi PCBs a la carte. I can't see them doing that where they go back and like retrofit games. But there was that question in the questionnaire, that little survey that said something about, would you want to upgrade your cabinet? So maybe they will eventually do something like that. Because I think I look at like someone posted in NBA Jam, they posted like, man, I got a lot of work to do. And they were like user 1,000 something. So there's like over 1,000, whether they're active or not, there's over 1,000 people that have actually used that Wi-Fi service if it increments one user at a time, if there was a user 1 through whatever, which it looks like it does. So like imagine that. That's pretty popular. So if they see that popularity increase, maybe they will go back and retrofit things. You never know. But that's a really good comment though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. So so it looks like we got a super chat from Epic Extended Gaming. He says, "Hey guys, still haven't shipped my black head-to-head Pac-Man. I ordered and paid for it April 1st. Well, joke's on you. Straight from them."
Wow, Justin.
I just meant because the date, April Fools.
I know. It's very funny. Good way to throw that.
At first, I just not going to order direct from them again, but it's been so long now. Yeah, it kind of sucks. They did make an announcement. Maybe they should have sent emails that they have been affected by. First of all, we appreciate your super chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Second, the Arcade1Up itself, their direct-to-consumer pipeline has been affected because they themselves are a small company of about 50 people, and they don't have the resources of like Walmart, and a lot of those special editions are direct. Now, I just picked up, because I moved around my room yesterday, and actually lifted up my Street Fighter 2 cabinet, and as I put it down, I broke the deck protector. Like, it cracked.
What?
And it was like their very first deck protector. It kind of extends just a little bit past the deck.
Were you holding it by like the corner, like the slant, and the other side on the
it was like I had the control panel on my belly.
Whoa! Where you're pointing to where you had the control panel?
This was Street Fighter, not Miss Pac-Man. So anyway,
okay.
And as I put it down, it kind of cracked, right? Anyway, it kind of cracked, and so I went on their site. It was $25 free shipping to get a replacement. I was like, sure, I guess. So that was yesterday. I'm curious how quickly it'll take for them to get me a deck protector. Maybe I should have done eBay.
Yeah.
But Walmart, obviously they were affected, but everyone's picking up their NBA Jam. At least the ones that got from Best Buy did, but there was a problem with some of the Walmart NBA Jams, right? There was a lot of delays on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There was we missed a couple other super chats here coming in. It was actually another one by Epic Center Gaming. He said, I want several of the NES ones, but just can't spend the money. NES ones. Am I like on, I don't know what he's talking about on that one.
Yeah, not really sure. He wished that they would come out with an Arcade1Up NES. Like
oh wow, Hyper Sam, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. You could next time say something, because that's a lot of money to pay to not say anything. So definitely say something next time.
Yeah, so let's finish the presentation real quick, and we'll come back to the discussion. There's not much left. There's Best Buy is now offering probably tomorrow. They have a price of $149 for the Arcade1Up Countercade. That's right.
That was actually pretty good. Anyway. So these are interesting because this same unit is available at QVC for cheaper. So QVC lets you order, if you go to the QVC link, the QVC link
like $112.
Yeah, it's like
and then $12
it was under
shipping.
That before. Well, it was under that before, and then they I think they rose it a little bit when after they had their little like offer. But if you go to the QVC link, which we did have in the show notes earlier, we'll make sure we copy those show notes over here too. The only thing that's a little confusing when you go to that QVC link, should you choose to buy it there, is it defaults to the Pac-Man one, and you're like, what is this? You have to click Miss Pac-Man.
That's right. It's another confusing thing. There's like two little boxes, and you'll look at it and you'll think it's only Pac-Man, but if you hit the Miss Pac-Man, you'll see that now you're ordering Miss Pac-Man. And as you go through the shopping cart, it does confirm you're purchasing the Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, I think what he meant on the NES thing is like that those two games are console versions of the games versus arcade versions. Yeah,
but
I think I don't know that those. Here's one thing, guys. Those two games I'm very unfamiliar with. I don't recall those side scrollers being arcade games. If they were, definitely correct me. I don't think they were. So definitely like put that in the chat if you know some information on that. But they are SNES games. I know that, but I don't know if if those are like arcade console ports of those games or if they were just SNES games to begin with. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Wicked, actually a few people, Fire Island says QVC models are different, less games, different trim.
Okay, so they have one less game, right?
Well, what I saw, if you go to Best Buy's website right now, I think it's one of those placeholders. It says coming soon. It's not available yet. It says it's available tomorrow. It'll be released tomorrow, but it's got a coming soon page, and it doesn't list any games that I saw. Correct me if I got that wrong, but when I looked at it, it just says Pac-Man. I'm not assuming that it only comes with Pac-Man. I assume they haven't finished filling out the data for that particular product.
I'm going to give David McIntosh some serious crap, though, because this is what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to go like, we want real press releases that tell you the what it is, what games are going to be on it, a little blurb about it. So they did do that for Summer of Gaming. So the Summer of Gaming stuff, they had press kits available for people, so you knew what they were announcing. When they do stuff like this, they don't. At least they don't to us. I mean, maybe they do to someone, but whoever it is, they're not good. If they are giving it to someone, they're really bad at distributing it to other people. So, like, we got to get those. Like, you need regular press releases because we shouldn't be this confused about what's being offered and what games are on each one. So anyways, that's just a little bit of information. I'm not trying to be nice about it, but I'm just saying, if we could get those, that'd be really cool. Just saying. All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
Can I tell a story about that one really quick, or did you want to go? So pull the. So this one, so it's kind of funny. So I had a call with John D, and there's a company that Arcade1Up works with. They're the ones that did the Pac-Man 30th anniversary, and when we were dealing with 40th anniversary, when we were dealing with some of the problems around sound and stuff, I had talked to that company just to see like what was going on. And in the background, this was there. And I'm like, hey, so...
It was a Zoom call, right?
Yeah, it was a Zoom call. I'm like, hey, so what's that thing over your right shoulder? And he's like, crap, we meant to move that. And we didn't. I was like, and there was like a couple other things around. I'm like, oh. And they're like, you can't say anything. I'm like, fine.
Is this the one where all of a sudden, like, John D's camera fell?
Yeah, I'll say it. So John D's like laptop camera fell, and he was like in like basketball shorts or something, and it got wicked awkward. But none of us wanted to say anything. I mean, he wasn't like naked or anything, but
he didn't know necessarily that it fell. He just kept going, right?
I don't think he knew. You know how sometimes if something awkward happens on camera, it seems like 100 years have gone by because everyone's like, who's gonna say something first? And so like. It was funny because I think I said something and they were like, oh, thank God someone said something. And then John just laughed it off. He's such a like chill guy that he didn't even care. He didn't skip a beat. Like he's like, oh, who cares? You saw my crotch. Blah. And he like kept on going. But it was a funny moment. We were all kind of laughing about it. All right.
Yeah, Steve is right. What I'm showing in the picture here is the pic. It's the picture from QVC. Best Buy doesn't have a picture at all right now. And it has, $149 price and a release date of potentially tomorrow. So definitely on the Countercades, I still think there's still confusion about it, unless you go to QVC. QVC has been, has their website together, not 100%, but if you dig, you'll see it's very clean and you can make you can actually order it and you know what you're going to get. But I think Best Buy is still up in the air of what exact package you're going to get once it's available.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that it's something that's more appealing if you're paying a little bit more, right? I mean, I think that's a great Countercade. I would probably want it to have just Miss Pac-Man and that's it. That's a really cool, like they did a good job on that. I would probably just leave it as is, but what other game would you throw on with Miss Pac-Man that would be, I guess you could have Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man and Galaga like the 30th and yeah, I guess you could do Dig Dug.
Well, you could, but Dig Dug could be its own Countercade, so as well.
Well, it was
The
right.
the up,
Wave
yeah,
one,
I mean
they
the
had it,
updated version. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, by the way, we did hold on to these at CES. Justin told the story before. We like made a big scene in the middle of the booth, and I lifted it up, and Justin and I sang. We're like, Arcade1Up, Countercade, and everyone's like, what the hell? And but they're really small. They're compact. They're to me, they're like the perfect size. It's what they should have had originally. But Hobby Hands had a $5 super chat, and thank you for that, by the way. He said, I used to design and program sites, and I had one client that was notorious for not giving me all the info. Even when the product went live, I hated it. It's true. Like, this is something
Probably what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that over time that this is just something that's like, hey, they're a startup, and really they're still a very young company. I mean, Tastemakers wasn't, but Arcade1Up, this new division that really blew up, is brand new. I mean, they're still very new. They're still a startup. So there's kinks, there's going to be kinks along the way, but the press releases would be nice if we get proper ones.
So TJ asked, what happened to the mini console TVs? Now, John did tell us, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it was actually in June. Now I'm thinking about it, because Summer of Gaming, wasn't that June? Wow.
Yeah, it was a little while
so
ago
2
now,
months ago, we were told, because of the situation, the world situation, some of the products that they showcased at CES got deprioritized. But they are still in the roadmap. And so they simplified and focused on what we're seeing now, which is the new arcade titles, the redesigned Countercade, the redesigned Partycade, and the pinball. That's their focus. I think it's possible, if we're reading between the lines, we may not see those other products till 2021.
Yeah, I think so too. We don't
Including
know that for sure, but I agree with that.
Yeah, and then there was something about, there was a press release or an article written by someone that was talking about the Coleco arcade, and that also mentioned next year, as we're probably not going to see the new Coleco-style tabletop Arcade1Up cabinets till next year.
So there's a couple more super chats. Hyper Sam, $10 super chat. Thanks, buddy. He says, are you guys gonna? This is a little off the topic, but we'll go there. Why not? Are you guys going to pre-order the Astro City Mini? Yes, we did. We both did. Also, what are your thoughts on the EverDrive Pro for the Sega Genesis? I have the EverDrive. I can't remember what model I have on my Genesis. I love it. It's great, but there's the Mega SD now.
Mega SD, yeah.
Yeah, there's the Mega SD
Terra
now.
Onion has one, right?
Yep, and then there's the Mega Drive Pro, I think, is the one that does Sega CD. It has the FPGA for Sega CD, right?
The Mega SD.
But there's an EverDrive version now that has it too, right? Yeah. So I don't remember if it's the Pro though.
I'm not sure about the Pro. We'd have to look that up. But that's a good thing to look for if you're looking into Sega Genesis, especially when it comes to those generation CDs. A lot of those CDs are starting to decay. The optical drives are going out.
And you're like, holy crap, I want to play Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch wicked bad right now. It has disc rot. I'm so pissed. I only had that Mega SD.
I think you want to look at two. Terra Onion makes one that supports Sega CD from the actual cartridge, the cartridge emulator, and Mega SD. There's a video by Retro RGB. If you go check him out, he has a video that does a comparison between the two. And he kind of just says, here's the two different options. While we're talking about it, optical drive emulator, there's a new video that just came out by Voltar talking about PlayStation mods that I'm super excited about. And one of them is a brand new optical drive emulator for the PS1. And so it's same issue. These drives are decaying and the CDs are decaying. And there's now a new optical drive emulator for a PS1 that's looking really promising. It's already out of stock.
I know that's the problem with a lot of these products. They go so fast, right? They just go so quickly. So if you want them, you gotta get them quickly. The Mega EverDrive Pro is the one that does offer Sega CD support. I can't remember if it does support 32X or not. So I don't know.
Some of them do, but you actually need the 32X.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm on the fence because I actually have a Sega CD still, but I realize that what Justin's saying is very true. Like the CDs are going to be, they will deteriorate over time. And I think Sega CD is actually one of the ones that deteriorates pretty rapidly anyway. So I don't know. I might go that route. It's
Yeah,
just
they got
not
it
super
together
expensive.
PS2, PS3 era, and definitely Blu-ray. The moment Blu-ray came out, supposedly, according to the people that I trust, it was something like, those won't go out in our lifetime because they really perfected. But the early CDs, Sega CD, PS1, they're not so good. Did we miss the super chat from Zohar? I think we did. He's asking about, did we see the leaked Virtual Fighter 2 ads? I did see. It looked legit, but I'm still hesitant.
It looked legit.
We've seen a few of them, and like there was the Outrun one, but that was clearly it looked very legit. But a Reddit dude actually he created it, like he just mocked it up. And so if you think you might have been fooled by the Outrun one, you were. And so
there was a lot of people that were fooled by the Outrun one. I remember for a while, everyone's like, yes, like confirmed. And we're like, no, it's not confirmed.
No, it's just a Photoshopper.
Got bummed out.
But it's a good one. And I hope Arcade1Up looked at that and went, didn't think about it that way. Okay, all right.
I mean, some of these renditions are so good. That's a great question, Zohar. And then there was one by Edwin I think we missed. Dude, I think we missed this one. It says Walmart has to buy now 4-in-1 Miss Pac-Man. I don't know what he means by that. Oh, 4-in-1. Got it.
Has a buy now 4-in-1 Miss Pac-Man. Okay.
Right. Okay.
I was checking earlier.
So Walmart. So that's on the Walmart. That's live. Is it, if
no, Walmart. You're saying it wrong.
No. What do you mean? Walmart.
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 There you go.
Right.
Hey, hey, Walmart.
Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, Arcade1Up. Do you got Miss Pac-Man for the 4-in-1? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you give me more than 2 games, I might be interested. Last time you gave me these cabinets with 2 games. What's that? 1, 2? What's that? I'll be done with that in half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So
you got to do that. Okay.
Yeah, okay. There was a comment by Super Dimensional. He said, it's been almost 3 years now. Stop making excuses for their poor quality control of customer service. So their customer service does need improvement. And, we've talked to Scott about that a bunch. They do know it. At least they acknowledge that it's been pretty rough. I haven't had any, here's the thing. Here's why it's bad for me to give my opinion on this. Because I was buying them and modding them almost instantly in Wave 1. So in Wave 1 and Wave 2, I was modding them, and I wasn't even playing them half the time. I was modding them, and that was it. So I never had any problems because I wasn't using the stock stuff. It was only really up into the more recent Wave 3 kind of stuff that I was really using them. Although the Final Fight one I did. But I do realize that is a real thing, and they have acknowledged it. I think that's just going to continue to get better. The problem is when you have the explosive growth like this, like being at a tech company, if you're not scaling your support with your product sales, you're going to end up in this situation. Yeah. So my guess is that I don't think that was they knowingly did that. I think they were like, holy crap, look what we're selling. And our support is like this, and our sales are like this. So it's just constant ramp to get back up to where they need to be. I think,
It's a Miss Pac-Man
Countercade! Wow, you guys are awesome. You literally went and found that. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, check it out. So what the 4 games? This is I looked earlier, but I didn't see this.
What does it say the 4 games are?
Well, I got to find out now. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it live.
Yeah, we're gonna do it live. What go figure. Try doesn't have them. It should be down there.
About this.
All right, let's see.
Okay, comes fully assembled. It's tabletop design. You got to be 14 or older. I'm out. So.
Wait.
Real size arcade controls, clear deck protector. It comes with Pac-Man. It comes with Miss Pac-Man.
No,
it comes with Pac-Man Plus, Galaga, and Dig Dug. Oh, I did see this before. I remember being like, why does it have Dig Dug 2 in it?
Dig Dug 2, dude. Maybe I need to log some time on Dig Dug 2.
Few people out there?
No, there are people that are super hardcore Dig Dug 2 fans, because I never hear anybody go oh yeah, it's all about Dig Dug. 1,000, 2,000, 2.
Okay. So he's saying no. That's fine. Pac-Man. So just the Pac-Man itself has the Dig Dug.
Oh, the regular Pac-Man has Dig Dug.
Yeah.
Would it be out of the realm of possibility? I think it's because they already have a Pac-Man. It would be kind of cool if you did. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, 4 games on it's pretty cool. I just Dig Dug 2. I really don't care.
Man, now I got to think about my QVC order.
I know, because right? Because this is Pac and Pal can go take a walk, but
But Galaga and Dig Dug,
yeah, Galaga
right?
and Dig Dug and Miss Pac-Man, that's solid. Pac and Pal, I don't know. Like, does anybody, please put in the chat, is there anybody out there, do you guys like absolutely love these other Pac-Man versions? Because to me, it's like you have Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and then a bunch of crappy Pac-Man games. Like, I don't know, I just don't love all those Pac-Man games. Like, I could care less about them. So I don't know if you guys, like, crucify me here live on the show if you feel like I'm smoking crack on that. But anyways, we're way backed up on stuff. So, How to Bachelor, thank you for the super chat. He says, Emperor Zohar versus Ralph rematch Street Fighter. Yeah, for those of you that missed it, we had a Street Fighter thing. We're going to do more of that. We're actually going to do more of that as Justin and I on the channel. We did a Mario Kart 8. It was super fun. It was just a test, but we had so much fun with everybody that we're going to do some like Justin and Ralph play, multiplayer games with the community on this channel. So definitely check that out. But we'll also be doing it on our own channel.
And if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like 50 times, because that helps you get the notifications. And also the notifications has a couple settings: off, personalize, and all. Make sure you have that set to all. We don't go like live like a million times, but there was on Wednesday, I think we went live like 3 times or something like that. But that was kind of a special thing,
All right, so Red Sea Gaming said Bandai's gonna sue me now, so that's cool. You don't like our games? Yeah. My family says, hey man, why you got trash Pac-Land, dude? I love Pac-Land. So hey, see, people do like them. It's not just me who doesn't like them. Zohar says, I'm sending a strongly worded letter to Scott Baccarat to stop releasing Pac-Man games and release more MK games. I think no one would be surprised by that. Mike says they got to stop with the filler games. I'd rather have repeats of good games. Hey, you know what? That's good feedback, because I do feel like they're getting a little excessive with that, but it does go back to, I think that repackaging is different SKUs for different people. I think that's what it is.
But like they started with the Pac-Man 40th, right? By throwing Galaga in there. That kind of changed it up. They're like, oh, you got actually a couple. That was a good ad. I'm cool. Mm-hmm. That was a good ad. Like, I actually really enjoyed that cabinet. My only beef on that cabinet is this, and it's weird because some people brought it up and some people didn't care. So one of the things that people used to complain a lot about on Arcade1Ups is they were like, oh, it's so crisp. It's too crisp. I want it to look like it used to look on a CRT. So they went and put on the Pac-Man 40th, it has bilinear filtering turn on. And there's a bunch of people that like, half the people are like, oh, I like it. It looks cool because it kind of gives it this like almost blown out CRT look. And then there's others that hate it. They're like, I hate this. It looked better in the older one. So it's one of those things, right? I think they're trying to find the way of who likes what. You know what it was, right?
What?
It was this. It was like, hey, Walmart, so how do you like the new screens that we got? We made them nice and crisp, right?
Yeah, they're too crisp. I remember these CRTs, and plus I got those cataract things, right? Like my eyesight's not that good, but I didn't like it. I kind of like the fuzzy look, like the CRT. Can you give me that? Can you give me that on this next run? Huh?
We can add a thing called bilinear filtering.
Whoa. Hey, don't question my intelligence with your big words and stuff over here. You're representative with your big words. And why they turn into Peter Giffen all of a sudden? You know what grinds my gears? Your big words. Your big words grind my gears. Yeah, go talk to some smart people. Try to make me feel stupid, huh?
We should do an Arcade1Up. You know what grinds my gears?
It's bilinear filtering.
Is when they make a deck protector that gets cracked and I have to buy. I don't even know. This is the thing. Ralph and I sometimes will call each other and we'll do voices, and then Ralph will be like, "Hey, why did you go from like an East Coast accent to an African accent?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we like totally go. I'm like, I'm Australian all of a sudden. What is happening? So yeah. So see, Sling Spade says he likes the smoothing effect. It's one of those things, right? I do think I was almost going to bring this up too. No matter what these companies do, like there's going to be some of us that are going to love that thing, and there's going to be some of us that don't like that thing. And I think maybe that's why the excessive SKUs too. It's like, well, you know what? We're trying to cater to as many as we can. It's never going to be 100% perfect. The one thing I wish they would do, and I know I don't go and purchase the joysticks and buttons and stuff, but it just seems to me like take the hit as Arcade1Up and just make everything a Sanwa stick. Like make Sanwa your basic, and if it's a fighting game, like hopefully, I'm saying this towards Zohar, but like MK2 or Street Fighter, like if you're thinking about doing that in the future, make a hap competition stick your basic stick for that machine, right? Like make it a hap competition, because you know what? It's going to cost more to manufacture that, but you're also going to have way less support issues. Those sticks will last a lot longer. So that's one of those things where, maybe the mass market doesn't care. I know everyone here cares, but this might go back to your comment, Justin, where maybe those people wouldn't know the difference of a good joystick versus a crappy one, right? Or I'm not saying they're crappy. They're decent clones versus really good joysticks. Maybe they wouldn't know the difference, but
that's right.
Let's press them on that. Let's get them to make Sanwa standard and make the fighting ones hap standard. That'd be really cool.
Be pretty cool.
Justin's looking at me like I'm crazy for saying that, but
no. I mean, there's a little problematic. Like when it comes to buttons, it depends on what game it is, really. Like I do like the Sanwa buttons on the actual buttons themselves. Low profile for the limited edition Marvel superheroes that I have. I really like that, but I would not want that on Pac-Man. What I really like is if you go to DIY Retro Arcade, he has those American style concave 28 millimeter buttons that are clicky, but they're not clicky like Street Fighter Gen 1 Arcade1Up. The Arcade1Up Wave 1, it's like you click it has a 10 to it. It's like tick.
Well, and it's clicky, but then it's harder to depress too, which actually makes it a little bit.
But the one that DIY Retro Arcade, which is probably clones, just generics. I don't know the brand of it. They're really good. They have this more of a. It has a micro switch in it, but it's kind of muffled, Yeah, and it feels good. It feels good.
Like, does it sound like that clicky? All right.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Hey, I feel dumb now. Okay.
So here's a general thing, though. What excites me about, and we can kind of tie this all together. Like you look at Pac-Land. I don't remember playing that as a kid. I'm sorry.
I don't either. But
the big titles like Street Fighter, Pac-Man, Galaga. That's what drove me to Arcade1Up. Right. The fact that they've improved their quality is great. Like going 960, which is it's high definition. Technically, it's 720 starts at high. It's not full HD, but also it's a 4:3 screen. So 960 is a pretty good resolution to go. You could go up to 1400 around there and get away with it, but for their form factor, it's really, really good. But it's also the titles that are really big. So with the new announcements, with Toy Shark or Toy Shock, the Toy Shark announcement for their mini pinball machine. I like the idea that they're bringing the price point down and they're going to make that, those pinball machines available. But I don't know. I'd love to hear what Mike Limbinski says about it, because, he's probably going to kill me if I say this, but I don't know any of those games. Does that make me a pinball idiot because I'm not familiar with the Gottlieb titles? Or is that more representative of the average person that are like when I used to go to arcades, again, I don't own an original pinball machine. So I'm that demographic, right? So I go to an arcade and I was like, hey, look, Indiana Jones, I know that movie. Hey, look, Star Wars, I know that movie. I could be playing Street Fighter and Galaga over here, but I guess I'll play pinball for a while and I'll play Back to the Future or something like that. And so I never made a connection to pinball unless it had something familiar with me. I feel like I'm playing this game and it's using voices from the movie. And again, there's probably some people that really, really love pinball and could tell you every single title of every pinball. And if you right now say, you're an idiot, Justin, because I'm going to drop a whole bunch of names for a whole bunch of titles, I'm sorry, but I don't know those titles. I must be an idiot then, but it's also why I'm not going to buy those pinball machines if they're not going to pull towards me. They're not calling to me. But I do like that they're making it more available, accessible to other people. And maybe there's other people that are like, oh, yes. Maybe they're a little older than me. I don't know.
No, it's an age thing because Gottlieb, a lot of those Gottlieb games are really old. We wouldn't have played them. They wouldn't have even been, a lot of them wouldn't even have been in the arcade. Or if they probably weren't even in the arcade anymore unless you went to a place that had a collection of pinball machines, so they kept the old ones around. If you go to the Pinball Hall of Fame in Vegas, they have all of those Gottlieb. They have a tremendous amount of. They probably have all of the Gottlieb games. Right. Red Sea Gaming did ask.
For me, hold on, real quick. For me, if any company came out with Big Bertha, where you throw the ball in her mouth and she, do you remember that? It was at like every Godfather's Pizza. It was at every Chuck E. Cheese. Like I'd pick that up because I remember it. It was funny. I even see it at the skating rink last year when I went. They had one there and I was like, oh my God, they have Big Bertha.
Okay. Anyways, I guess I'll message John D on the side and say we got to get that Big Bertha game rolling real soon. So we got a message here from Red Sea Gaming. I'm just kidding. I don't know that, but
see, I think Jonathan knows what I'm talking about.
Dude, you messed up my thing. This is a repost.
Sorry.
We didn't get to it. So Red Sea Gaming said, "Why is it that Arcade1Up? There's always a mystery as to what store has what games and what cabs. It's very frustrating and confusing. There's a bunch of people." Ready to throw money their way. So, Justin, you'd probably be better. You'd be better to answer this because
it's because they don't even know.
All right. Well, it's probably true, but right?
Yeah.
Well, they must have manifests of what stuff is going off of what shipping container going to what Walmart, right?
Probably.
Or do you think that it doesn't? Oh, all right. Well, I actually think you could be right on that, but. All right.
I think the people that manage that are not David and John, and they're their public figures, and so maybe there's some misinformation. I don't know. So maybe they'll fix it one of these days.
So Mike says Gottlieb is old school. You're just too young. So Pinball Arcade, which is Farsight Studios, has some of the Gottlieb titles in it, and I was playing with them. I don't know, like after the Toy Shock came out, I was like, maybe I'll just play with them on the app to get familiar with them because I modded the Toy Shock. Shock. And
it's really hard not to say that.
Yeah, but some like Lights Camera Action was a pinball machine I never knew about, and I actually found it kind of fun. So some of them are fun, but then when I went to the Pinball Hall of Fame, I played the real Haunted House, and the real Haunted House is like a super innovative pinball machine because it had 3 levels to it.
Right.
So there was some cool things, but digitally on that platform, it didn't have that effect that it did as a mechanical form. So it's just, dude. Pinball's one of those things. It's just like arcade games. Various different ages are gonna be appealing to different tables, and it's just the way it is. I just think for them doing all Gottlieb, you're not gonna really get the 40s, the older 30s crowd and the 40s, the early 40s crowd, because we wouldn't have played those games. So it's not a dig. It just is what it is.
Yeah. So I have to answer this one. Jeff says, am I off or is Justin on the other side of the room right now?
Oh, wow.
All right,
How
Jeff.
Observant is
I'm going to
Jeff.
make you feel so much better. I'm on the other side of the room now. It's not you. It's me. Like I literally moved my entire room. I flipped it the opposite way. Not to mess with you, but it was to make more room in my...
Hold on, I got to do this for Red Sea Gaming. Even though Justin's gonna get mad because apparently he does a better impersonation of this.
Oh, so okay. We'll see.
Call me and ask me about. Hold on. You're calling me right now from Arcade1Up, and I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay? You're Arcade1Up calling Walmart, and you're asking me a question. Okay?
Hey, Hey, Walmart. How's it going? This is John D here with my DJ mic on, and I wanted to talk to you about some of the new cabinets that are coming out. So, what do you got? You got 5 minutes or so?
It's going well, John. I have a question for you.
What's that?
Well, it seems the consumers are upset about which cabinets are going to which stores. I need to cross-reference the manifest. Do you have a manifest?
No, I don't have a manifest, but I'll try to get one over to you.
I'm going to get you, John.
All right, that was stupid.
All right. Hold on. So, Ralph thinks he's so great. All right, hold on. All right, I'll just do it for you. Hold on.
I'll get you next time.
Oh, it's way deep. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Oh, mine's deep? Evil, like super evil.
Yeah, yours sounds like he's doing something creepy. I'm just kidding. I don't know what yours is doing.
I didn't prepare for that one at all.
I need a fake cat. I need a super fake.
Yeah,
we need a fake cat.
He's going on Amazon right now. He's like, fake cat, totally got it. Boom.
Totally getting a fake cat.
You next time.
Justin sounds like the Exorcist. All right.
So anyway, I don't even know what we were talking about.
I don't know.
What were we talking about?
I think it's final thoughts time.
I don't know. Well, so hold on. There's some messages coming in various different places. I don't know. Zohar's like, hey, I got you on. He's like, I flashed a light up in the sky and there's a message. What was it? Ralph, I'm sending you a Facebook message. My version is the best. I don't know what he's talking about.
Who is it?
He's
Zohar can do.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
How about
Check
this?
your face.
We can send Zohar a link, okay? Send him the link to the show.
He won't do it.
Send him a
He's
link
too
to the
shy.
show, and he can come in with his camera off, and he can do the voice. We'll see if it's any
Would
good.
you actually do that?
Come on, let's get some ones in there if you want to hear Zohar's Mr. Claw voice.
I feel like he's not going to do it. He's going to shy out on us, but hey, let me try it.
I think some people
Zohar.
want some to do a Yoda voice.
I'm not good at Yoda.
Hold on.
Come on, do it.
Holy shit. His is really good, actually. He sent me an audio. Can we somehow play this? His is really good.
Well,
His
just
is
hold
actually
your phone
very-
up to your microphone. Crank up
Hold it up to
the...
my- Oh, yeah. Oh, good call. It's really good. Let me see. I'll have to crank it up all the way. But it's really good. Okay, I got to admit, it's pretty dead on. Ready? I hope this
Yeah.
works. Sometimes I'm going to cup around the microphone. Hold on.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah? Well, check this one out. I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Right? Isn't it wicked good?
Oh my
his
God.
is really good. Okay, Zohar, hands down.
Okay, Zohar, so you beat me at Street Fighter and you beat me at the goddamn.
Yeah. Recently, I've been trying to work on my George McFly, but I still can't do it. Man, Zohar, that was
It's
really good.
It actually is really good. Wow. We went from talking about Arcade1Up to doing impersonations of Mr. Gadget or the Claw. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, he nailed it. That was pretty good. Wow. Whew. Okay. So didn't we have a couple more things to talk about, or were we done? I don't remember.
I think we're done.
Well, there was our confusion around the one cabinet, though. So did we want to even bring that up? Yeah. Yeah, so there's going to be the X-Men. Should we bring it? I actually have it up right here.
Go for
Let's
it.
see if I can share it really quick. All right, so there's going to be... I don't want to share my entire screen. I want to share the Chrome tab. There we go. Okay. Look at that. I changed my monitor, so it is now horizontal. Love it. So
Nice.
So if you go to games and you go to arcade cabinets on their website, there is this X-Men versus Street Fighter arcade cabinet. So this is the one that there isn't a link for yet. I don't believe, right? Because if you say purchase from
Right.
retailers, I don't.
If you
think
click
this
on
goes
that, go ahead and
anywhere.
click on it. It'll take you to the other cabinet, the Marvel
I think it
versus
does.
Capcom.
So you guys can't see it because I'm sharing a tab, but yeah, it does. It goes to the Marvel versus Capcom cabinet, so it goes to the wrong one. So I did talk to John. So this cabinet, or I messaged him. So this cabinet will actually have just the 4 games. I don't have the price on it, but this cabinet's just going to have the 4 games you see here. So this is an example of the overlap that I'm talking about, because Children of the Atom is on. You can't see it
Marvel
right now, but
superheroes.
Children of the Atom is on my Marvel superheroes right there, and then Marvel versus Capcom is actually not on that one, but it's Marvel superheroes, right? No,
Yep.
it's just Children of the Atom. So Children of the Atom is on that one.
Right. It's the other.
X-Men-
The other cabinet has
X-Men versus
superheroes on
Street
it.
Fighter and Marvel versus Capcom are on the other cabinet they're offering already with the 5 games on it. And then you get the Mutant Apocalypse, which is an SNES game. So this has 1 less game and has 2 games that are on the other cabinet. The other
Don't
one,
worry,
the
we're
other-
going to build a Venn
Yeah.
diagram for you. Come back
it's
next week
confusing.
and we'll have it all figured out.
So technically, this has 1 game off of the special. Is it limited? It has 1 game off the limited edition Marvel cabinet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the one that
Children of the
one that-
Atom.
Yep, Children of the Atom. Then it has 2 games that are on the Marvel versus Capcom cabinet, and that'd be X-Men versus Street Fighter and Marvel versus Capcom. And then it has another game that isn't on the Marvel versus Capcom cabinet, which is the Mutant Apocalypse. Did everyone get that? Did I get that
I think
right?
it's if you really like X-Men, get the X-Men cabinet. If you really like the Marvel titles, get the Marvel cabinet.
Exactly, but that is confusing. You know what I mean? It's to me the cabinet that makes sense is the one that's available now, the Marvel versus Capcom cabinet, not this one. But I think this
That's right.
one's going to be cheaper.
And-
Probably, I'm assuming it's going to be just the cabinet. Probably, I'm
Right.
assuming, and it's going to be.
And we're
cheaper,
told
probably.
both can go online.
Yep.
And I believe Children of the Atom cannot go online, and then the Gems one on the other cabinet can't go online. The War of the Gem, is that right?
Yeah, no, that can't go online. Yep.
Yeah.
And then he said you didn't talk about Buck Hunter at Best Buy. That's right. Buck Hunter is available on Best Buy. We didn't talk about that. Why didn't
What
we
is it,
talk about that?
$549?
Yeah, $549.
Because we're not going to get it.
Oh.
Because we don't care. No.
No, so I actually want to get it, but not because I love Buck Hunter, because I want to check out the Sinden technology. I will probably hopefully have my actual one from the Kickstarter before that ships, but I just kind of want to play with it and see what we can do with that cabinet. And this is a big test for them. So they're using great technology, but can Arcade1Up get it implemented the right way? I'm sure they will, but because if they're not going to have their first gun cabinet be crappy, and that's why they went with Sinden. But I always say it wrong. Is it Sinden or Sinden? I've been in the Kickstarter for over a year now. Sinden. Yeah, I always say it wrong. But
it should be Sinden, but whatever.
Yeah, so Sinden, it has the technology. It's great. I actually sent a message on my channel with a video that Linus Tech Tips did. They got early access to one. It's a great video if you're curious how the technology works, and they're like blown away by it. They think it's awesome. So I have all the faith in the world that stuff is solid and it's going to be great. So hopefully it is. So I think you can still actually support the Kickstarter, and I think there's an Indiegogo too. You can support it, I think, still if you want. So just check it out. Just do Sinden and then just type Sinden Kickstarter.
And then
or Sinden.
we believe the Star Wars pinball. Someone asked a question about that. We might hear something in the next few weeks, but the idea is 3 titles are going to be released all at once. It's everything they've shown. Right now, the website only shows Marvel. I think that's simply because they had the Photoshopper design all of the artwork for the Summer of Gaming, which is the big release of Marvel, but they didn't go back and get the artwork for the previous titles because those were things they just simply showed off at CES. But the plan is all 3 are going to come out at the same time. Perhaps pre-orders the next few weeks is our guess.
Yeah, because when I asked Sean, I said don't say soon, and I think he said soon and then LOL, and he said soon LOL in a couple of weeks. I think he did say I think. So
right. Even
they're shooting for that time.
So
now I know Zen's been really busy because Zen's going to release they've got a new pack for FX3 that's coming out, which is pretty cool. So Zen Pinball, who they're partnered with on their pinball machine, I actually sent the press release on that. So Zen's got some new, I think it's Williams stuff that they're releasing. One of them is Funhouse actually. So they're gonna have some new FX3 titles, which is great. And Zen was kind of weird because Zen was tied up for a lot of years because they were doing this Pinball Everywhere initiative where internally at the company they wanted Zen pinball offerings to be available on everything: Android, iOS, PC, Steam, whatever, all consoles. And so I think that was where they tied up a lot of their engineering time. And now you're probably going to see a lot more coming out from Zen, including this partnership with Arcade1Up. So I know a lot of you guys like the Zen tables, and you're pretty stoked on those. Chris is the biggest. Chris is by far, he's a buddy of mine. He is the biggest Funhouse fan ever, so he was pretty stoked when he heard Funhouse is coming to FX3. That's a really fun table, and it has a really odd story. I don't know if you know the story about the Funhouse.
He has a video on it, right? It would take about 5 minutes to explain that story. So once you have
I'm not
everyone go check out
but it's
Chris's
weird,
video.
Yeah, so go check out the Funhouse Arcade1Up mod on my channel, and it's a weird story. It's kind of creepy, but thanks, Chris, for putting that video together. It was really cool. A lot of people.
So we have been told there is still going to be, there's still another title, another cabinet that will come out this year that is not yet announced. So when that'll be, we don't know, but it'll be before the end of the year.
Yeah, what do you guys think that's going to be? I think it's going to be the racing cab, obviously. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so. They teased that enough.
I feel like we're going to find out that we really just Justin to Ralph. Yeah. Oh, why'd you make me? You went off of it, Justin and Ralph. Yeah, Ralph. Don't tell the story.
It wasn't me.
No. He's saying that you basically just told me don't tell the story. You basically said that. So yeah.
Well, I was saying just plug the video, because it's a great video.
Hey, bada bing, plug the video, huh? All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Cool. I think we're done, right? I don't know what else we have to talk about.
Yeah, you said
Mickey Z's like, it better be a racing cab. Before the show, you were like, oh, there's no way we have enough content to go to an hour. You're like, it's going to be like a 15-minute show.
That's what you said. What the?
I know. I just did a little reversal. I was me. I was like, Justin, we don't have enough content. We're never going to be able to do a show for an hour on this. An hour and 15 minutes, so.
What is wrong with you, Ralph?
My family says they're going to do whack-a-mole. So,
Your family or my family?
did I say your family? No, my family. Randy.
Come on.
Randy said there's going to be a whack-a-mole announcement. My family's name is Randy.
All right, guys. I think on the spot, final thoughts time, Mr. Retro Ralph, not me.
What? Oh, I was
Stick around because we have something special to tell you after final thoughts. Come on, Ralph. You remember what it is, but first...
No, I don't. I actually don't, but that's cool.
First, come on.
Hey,
let's do this.
You don't have any music. You don't have the music playing.
I'm playing right now. What are you talking about?
Is this the final thoughts music? Hey guys, it's final thoughts time. So, what did we learn today in this episode? We learned that there are
Wait, are you reading something? How dare you?
I wasn't reading something. I was looking. The chat was going crazy on the side. I'm not reading anything. I'm staring right at the U.
Always raw, Ralph.
Hey guys, it's final thoughts time.
So,
well, hey guys, it's final thoughts time.
what we learned today is that we learned that I apparently do a really crappy Claw impersonation, and Zohar is better than me on that too. And he's also better than me at Street Fighter, but Justin sounds really freaking creepy when he tries to do a Claw impersonation, which made me feel better and made me totally forget that Zohar was better than me.
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
We also learned that the purchasing guy at Walmart has no freaking clue what Arcade1Up is selling him. He just buys random stuff, and he has no idea what stores those machines are going to. That was Justin, really, that verified that. So when Arcade1Up comes knocking... Wait. It wasn't me. We also learned that they need to get better about their press releases, because there are some cabinets where this game's over here and this game's over there, and they're mixed up and they're going each which way, and we don't actually know what's going on. And so it makes us seem a little stupid, but 230 of you guys are still here, so it couldn't have been that bad. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got, dude.
All right.
What's the special thing? Because you didn't tell me anything about a special thing. And I hope I didn't break. I was like really punching a very expensive microphone. So to try to get a knocking effect. Wait, hold on. Here it is.
All right. So everyone check this out. So Ralph doesn't know I'm doing this, but we're going to be covering something that I think is really interesting. We wanted to make sure everyone absolutely knows about it. Arcade1Up.com. We want to be talking about that because we're really excited about what David's been doing. Let me pull it up. Press 1 in the chat if you know what we're talking about, and hit 0 if you don't.
Can I add a final thought before you even talk about it?
Yeah.
And another final thought would be... Okay. You got the music? I need a final thought music. The other final thought would be, before Justin did this, it would have been cool to get a small, itty tiny bit heads up, because I kind of slacked off and didn't build the kit. So we're probably going to have to use stock video, because Ralph completely failed on building the kit prior to this airing on live YouTube. All right, go, Justin. Sorry.
All right, so if you check this out, now it's available, and we promised David that we would show this... maybe we're going to even have him on later so we can talk about it more. But for the people in our encore show right now, so check it out. He put together a really cool kit that allows you to take leftover parts from your Arcade1Up mod. So say like you have these 10 cabinets or whatever, and we talked about Countercades and on this show tonight. But imagine if you have the marquee because you've upgraded the marquee of your cabinet. You have the control panel because maybe you went to DIY Retro Arcade or Tulsa and purchased your own control panel, right? If you have those parts, and maybe you did the 20-inch monitor upgrade, which we're told a lot of people have done that. Tulsa said he over the last few years that was a hot item for him. So we know that scenario exists. So that means you have leftover parts, and so what he does is sells you the remaining parts to build like a little tabletop countercade, kind of DIY, do it yourself, using all those original parts. So you have the PCB, you have the control panel, and you have the marquee. You take those unit pieces, put it all together, and now you can build your own. And I think it's really cool. Like no one else thought of that.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then the other thing that's neat is like it's open for you to kind of add your own flair to it. So like those pieces aren't they're kind of like the raw wood, but you can you could paint it. You could paint it if you want. You could make it all black if you wanted to do that. Paint it and seal it. Or you could go to like one of the companies like Tyler Goodman over at Arcade Graphics, or go to someone like Joe Sabo, like someone that's out there in the community that does artwork, and they could have artwork made for it if you want to. But for me, I was actually thinking with my kit, I'm going to paint it, I think. I'm going to paint it black, I think, or some color, and then I'm going to put some edge molding on it to make it look kind of finished off. So I want to do, because I think the whole idea of the kit is it's a leftovers kit, and it's a really good price at $89.99. So like rather than pay more money for the artwork, I'm just going to kind of paint it and make it look kind of cool, like a black cabinet. So yeah, pretty neat. I think
it's a really cool idea.
It is a really cool idea. Now that Justin, so I need to build mine. I'm really excited about it. So what I thought I'd do with mine, and I don't know if I even told you this, Justin, is I think I have a leftover from a mod. So it's not a leftover from an Arcade1Up. It's a leftover from a mod.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a mini Sega Genesis cabinet. So mine is going to be like a tabletop. Yeah, mine's going to be a tabletop Sega Genesis. And I'm going to have it a real Genesis in it, I think, where you can put cartridges in. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So a little tabletop.
Yeah, I think that's
Sega
really
Genesis. Cool. Yeah. So that's my goal for mine.
So I wanted to.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Oh no, I was going to say. Please. Since I can't remember my own stuff, Zohar said coffee talk tomorrow. Don't forget. So yeah, on Retro Ralph channel tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I'm gonna do my coffee talk thing. It's like really just whatever you guys want to talk about. I thought it'd be fun, and we did the first one last Monday, and people seem to like it. So we're gonna keep doing it unless you guys tell me otherwise. So it's pretty fun. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on that.
All right, before we go, I think it's I'm gonna do one final thing, and I think it's I'm gonna try to get a copyright claim. Now, this is my own little thing real quick, because we did this before. Whenever I play music that's like a cover of something else, there's one of two things that happens. YouTube flags it and says, that's a cover. But every now and then, it says it's not a cover. It thinks I'm actually playing the real music.
So does that mean you get the money?
No. Just kidding. No. Either way, they get the money. But I'm going to try really hard. You guys tell me in the chat if you know what song this is. I'm going to try really hard to make it sound as much as I can like the original. You can do the... It's a good song. I think you like it. I got a little reverb in my voice.
Quickly reference Stringer Films super chat.
Yes, go ahead.
Him at the end. He said, you could put a 6-pack of soda in there, of BE soda in there? Am I missing something? Sometimes he writes in code. Most of the time I understand him, but... Well, thank you for the super chat, Stringer. I don't know what you mean. I mean, maybe you mean like there's a lot of room in the cabinet? You could put a 6... am I missing something? I feel stupid.
In the back, you could put 6-pack in there? You could put beer in there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, we'll just go.
All right, here we go. You ready?
But we appreciate the super chat, though. And by the way,
right.
just know that Mike does text me almost every day before the show, and if you don't play the song, like he legitimately gets upset. I'm just letting you know. Like if you
okay,
so
I will give you closing time, but I want to give you this one first. All right.
All right. Can we talk about one more thing really quick?
Yeah, please.
So Zohar said, whatever you do, don't play Last Dragon. YouTube hates Last Dragon. So if you guys don't know this, something happened for the very first time that's never happened to Justin or myself, which was really weird. I was streaming the other day, and I love the movie Last Dragon, and I played it. It was kind of a joke because I was trying to say who's the master to Zohar. It was like a stupid joke I came up with, and I did it live. And the first time I played it, it was fine. And it said on my screen, it said, hey, you're going to get a strike for this, or a copyright claim. And then I played it a second time, and it killed the stream. It said, we have blocked your live stream. But it did come back. Everyone was like, it was all, and everyone was gone. And then all of a sudden, it like started back up, and we were like, yeah, it was super fun. But I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, that was really cool. They like completely shut it down. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a Tommy Boy reference, which is crazy because I watched Tommy Boy like a million times, and I have to go back and watch it. So, all right, are you? I'm done.
I'm ready.
Talking now.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm done talking. Yeah.
A hot that's full up like a landfill, a job that slowly kills you, bruises that won't heal. You look so tired and happy, bring down the government, and they don't speak for us. I'll take a quiet life, a handshake of carbon monoxide, and no alarms, no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, silence. No! Not gonna get it, because I messed up. Silence. This is my final fate, my final bellyache with no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. All right, that's all I got. If David still, I totally messed that up, but it's kind of hard playing live.
People were like, yeah, they're going to flag you. There was a bunch of people that really enjoyed it. Everyone was saying you did a good job. Everyone's enjoying it. And then Rudy said, are you singing this to me? And I was like, I don't know, but I don't think so. And then Red Sea Gaming said the voice of an angel. He wants you to whisper sweet nothings in his ear. Zohar was like, fudge. And then Fire Island HG said, you sure look like a master to me.
Oh, that's funny. Reference. All right. I think we just got to give them the real.
Over, boy.
We got to give them the quick song, and then that's it. What is it? How's it go again?
Closing time.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Wait, we gotta crank this one up,
I
right?
thought you were getting angry.
So gather up your jackets, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some of the beginning's end. I'm wondering if they're gonna notice this song. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some of the beginnings. And that's Ralph's way of singing it.
Yeah.
You know, they never catch me for playing that song.
Time. I know
Never,
why.
because I never sing the lyrics right.
Probably.
All right. You got more hanging out. We're at 1:30, dude. Seriously.
Hold on. There's a really good. So, how many of you guys, really quick? How many of you guys are fans of Silicon Valley, the show? How many of you guys watch that or have watched that show? Just put a 1 if you watch Silicon Valley and you like the show. Really quick. I know it's going to take a second to populate in there. There's in the last season, so this was an idea that I had that I thought would be really funny. And I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but I almost don't want to tell, actually, I almost don't want to tell you guys, but do you remember the scene? So I don't have a channel trailer for Retro Ralph, but I want it to be really stupid. And so if you guys remember, I want the channel trailer to be completely dumb. So I don't know if you guys remember in one of the episodes of Silicon Valley, it's when Russ Hanneman comes in and pitches Rust Fest, and he does the trailer for Rust Fest. Do you guys remember that? I basically
Wait, are you going to show the clip and then get us shut down? Is that your goal?
I don't have the clip. So unfortunately, you guys will have to go check the clip after. But go look up Russ Fest, Russ Fest, Silicon Valley. I want to reproduce that, but I want to be on the motorcycle, and then all the cars, I want to say something like emulation, and then I go like this, and the car blows up, and like retro gaming, because I want it to be cheesy, like really, really stupid. So I thought I came up with that the other day. I'm like, I think that would be a really fun channel trailer, and it'd be so dumb. Mm-hmm. And if Justin and I had infinite funds, I would go in the desert, and we would blow stuff up and do ridiculously fun things for channel trailers. But I don't have. Is there a Ralph hologram? No, I'm not gonna go there. So, have you ever you've seen it, right, Justin? Have you seen if you watched the whole series?
I haven't watched.
Oh my gosh! Oh gosh! Russ Hanneman. This guy. His name is Russ Hanneman. Mike Judge has figured out how to write a character that is the biggest douchebag. Like every douchey element a person could be, he's nailed it in this character. So, anyways. All right, I don't even know why I talked about that.
They want a Dr. Claw closing time.
It's a palapa. I love that.
Close. I can't do it.
Wait,
can you sing? I want to hear Zohar
I can try
sing.
to do it.
Close.
It just sounds like Cookie
For alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer.
Closing.
It's Yoda singing.
Closing time.
Cookie Monster.
It's Cookie Monster. All right.
Okay, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
All right.
That's Hanneman. That's awesome.
People say they wanted an official 1UP Weekly song, and this is it. It's a ditty. The song is called Welcome to the 1UP Weekly Live. And it goes like this. Welcome to the 1UP Weekly Live.
Yeah, and it's got the butt rock element. It's got the, what's it called?
Did you say butt rock?
Yeah, it's got the butt rock element. Like it has the I would call butt rock the songs that are like where should have been dead on Sunday morning in my hill. Like it's like stupid, right?
Ain't got no time.
That's butt rock.
All right.
That's what I call it, but you should have been like you overemphasize everything. Like there's no way like he comes and meets people. He's like, "How are you doing Sunday morning?" Like it's overemphasizing, you know?
Wait, that's how he like meets people. He's like, "Nice to meet you. How are you doing in the AM?
What coffee you drinking? I'll have some too."
So if he was a YouTuber, what would that be like? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and ring that bell.
Yeah.
Ain't got no time.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, I snorted. That's awesome. All right, we gotta go.
All right. And we'll see
guys.
you on the next one.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Ain't got no time.